In real estate, you are your own time manager. You do your own time, you set your own time. Only difference is if you don't do it, you don't get paid. I always say you can't motivate an unmotivated seller. It is what it is. You can't help somebody that doesn't need your help or doesn't want your help. The response rate in the South Florida, very competitive Broward, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach County market, no matter what you do. Trying to make a short answer, yes, it's different, but it's not because of the marketing piece or the marketing strategy. It's just that the market is easier because of the hyper competitiveness. As a wholesaler, just having the right words to be honest with the seller about you being a wholesaler. Because people shy away from the unknown. If they don't know, and people don't, they want to shy away from it. It's just natural.
Welcome to the Real Estate Masters podcast, where we bring you the top real estate investors in the country. If you also want to be in the top 1%, you are in the right place. Listening to podcasts like this is exactly what helped me to scale my real estate investing business to 7 figures, flip over 1,000 houses, and more importantly, step out of daily operations of my business over a decade ago so I could start and grow other businesses. So get ready to learn from the best and start building a business that works for you and not the other way around. Enjoy.
What's going on, guys? Mario, first off, thank you for taking the time and being here with us today. I know you've been in law enforcement for a long time. Going from law enforcement to real estate, what do you think the biggest difference is between the two fields?
Well, basically your time. Obviously in law enforcement, you have a certain amount of hours that you have to make a week. It's not a 9 to 5. It could be a 12 to 12 or 10 to 10 or 10 hours, 8, whatever it may be, and maybe more depending on the situation you get into. But in real estate, you are your own time manager. You do your own time, you set your own time. Only difference is if you don't do it, you don't get paid. If you do it, you get paid, and at times handsome. Just depends. So that's the biggest thing. I always tell people that if I were paid the same in real estate, which obviously is not, but if I would pay the same in real estate that I would get paid in police work, I would obviously do real estate regardless. Or if I would get paid less in real estate, I would do real estate before doing police work. Love police work. It's been my passion. It still is. But, obviously the safety issue and the whole thing of being home more with the family and obviously making a better life for me and the family lies in real estate.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And how did you get into real estate in the first place?
It kind of happened where I moved in with my girlfriend at the time, now wife, and she had a property. We moved in, I moved into her property that she bought. I moved in with her. And then, we got married and all of that. And instead of selling that property when we upgraded for another one, we ended up renting it. And then at that point, we moved into that property. Then we moved into another property and we rented the previous two. Our third property was, our dream home, the one we wanted. In that mix, I was watching a Facebook ad of a lot of the gurus, and the Facebook ad, something clicked because something had happened within the police department that I wasn't too happy with, and I was like, I have to move. I have to do something else. And I was always interested in real estate because I already had the first 2 rentals, but I really wanted to get into it deeper. So I signed up for the course. Cost me an arm and a leg back then for me, but signed up for the course and started wholesaling, and everything has been going on since then, wholesaling and flipping and then buying rentals and so on and so forth.
Awesome. And then for the people listening, just what does your business look like today exactly?
Well, I currently own a portfolio of around 13 properties. It's only one multifamily, so it's 14 doors. I actively have also a wholesale division. My main thing though is the BRRRR strategy. I look to buy, renovate, rehab, repeat the whole nine. That's my main strategy. I started off wholesaling a lot, obviously to build up the capital. And I'm in 2 markets. I'm in the Broward County, Florida market and in the Dayton, Ohio or Montgomery County, Ohio market. So I have a handful of a portfolio over there, and then a handful of my portfolio here where I live in Broward County, and just wholesaling and some flipping, very little, because burn flipping is almost the same thing. It's just a different exit strategy at the end. And and then just looking to buy as many rentals as I can, as fast as I can, so I can sit down and do nothing and get a cash flow and equity.
Awesome. And you said you're wholesaling in both markets or just in the Florida market? Both markets.
In both markets,
Both
yes, in both
markets.
markets. It's kind of a cherry pick type of strategy where if I really like the deal, I will take it down myself. It's actually been that I more likely than not like all the deals for the most part. But then the other ones, depending on where I'm at, as far as my current projects or how much capital I have out to renovate or buy or whatever it is, or waiting for refinances, I might just wholesale. So
Gotcha.
it's in both markets.
Want to get motivated sellers that nobody knows about? Introducing 10x TV. If you want to create credibility in your market, find deals that nobody else knows about, and crush your competition, you need to check into TV commercials. It is the new buzz in the real estate investing industry since we introduced it several years ago. I've been using TV commercials myself for the last 12 years and it's absolutely crushed it. So if you want to learn how to get on TV and to do something that little to no people are doing right now, go to claimmymarket.com. Again, that's claimmymarket.com. We usually only work with 2 investors per market, so if you're interested, reach out to us and book a call to see if you can claim your market before anybody else does. Now back to the show.
What was the main problem that you were trying to solve when starting, getting into real estate?
It is financial. In police work, you can live a comfortable life ish, but as time passes and obviously cost of everything increases, inflation and all of that, to live comfortable, to live good, to live for you and your family, you need more money. $100,000, let's just say, a year job or career doesn't cut it anymore. If you want to live comfortable or maybe a little bit more above comfortable, let's say. So that was the main thing, and then my time. You can make 100 and something $1,000 a year, being law enforcement, police, but you're gonna have to work 12, 16-hour days every day, 6, 7 days a week, and you're not home. You're not with your family. I have 2 daughters, 2 young daughters. I have a wife, so definitely the time and the money.
Hmm. What do you think the most common misconception is about what you offer as far as a, viewership from the community itself?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Explain that a little bit more.
Like, the most common misconception that you think non-investors see you as an investor.
Basically, that we're that I'm just here to lowball. You mean like sellers or just people? Yeah, that I'm just basically here to lowball and to steal properties and stuff like that. So my my strategy may be different from a lot, but I give the sellers or just the people that I'm an investor. I buy properties. Okay, so yeah, you steal properties from people, or you this, you that, or you're a shyster, you're a salesman, or whatever. It's my strategy is, if I can help you, I'm gonna help you. But if I can't, I'll let you know. It doesn't make sense. All right. But at the same time, and on top of that, I like to explain why you want 300 but I can only do 200, for an example. I like to explain exactly why, and I show them the numbers. And some people, is an emotional thing that they just see the number, don't really understand the explanation. And then some just don't, and that's okay. I was I put a lot of content on my socials, and I always say you can't motivate an unmotivated seller.
Mhm.
It is what it is. You can't help somebody that doesn't need your help or doesn't want your help. So it's just, so the misconception is basically that investors are out here to steal properties or whatever, or that investors are out there to take away the American dream of home ownership. On the contrary, there's different types of investors, obviously, but on the contrary, those fix and flip investors, like me, or wholesalers as well, depending, as long as everyone does it properly, legally, and ethically. We're providing housing for people that want to live in a nice house. So we're helping the seller that doesn't want to deal with the property for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We're helping the contractor make money to feed their family. We, as a wholesaler, say we're helping the buyer find a deal. As the end buyer, on the end after renovation, we're providing them a good product, a nice product, to be able to live in and enjoy the family. So those are the misconceptions. But there's misconceptions about every industry, everything, about everybody. It doesn't matter what. So it just comes with the territory.
Speaking of marketing, I'm curious what you're doing to find most of your properties.
Well, today, I am gonna say this. Since I started, I've tried everything. I think I've tried, well, almost everything. Not everything. There's a lot of million ways to do it, but I've tried cold calling, door knocking, drive for dollars, texting, PPL, PPC, Facebook, everything you can think of. What really fits my personality and my way is direct mail.
Mm,
I know it's the tried and true method, amongst others, but the tried and true method of getting deals is just harder for most, and you have to kind of bite the bullet, at the beginning until it starts ramping up, and then it's kind of continues on its own as long as you maintain it. So direct mail is mainly now. I also do agent outreach, reach out to all the agents in the area that I really like to buy and let them know, hey, I'm buying, I'm an investor looking for something that I can fix and flip or buy and hold that needs some renovations. Here's my number. Here's my socials. Here's my social media. Reach out to me if you get something, and I can make it easy to work with you as long as the deal makes sense. And I also reach out to other wholesalers. If they have something that's in my area that maybe I didn't pick up or I didn't see, and the numbers work, then I would buy from them as well. So I have also wholesaler outreach marketing channel. So that's basically what I'm doing now.
I love it. You're in two very different markets. So I'm curious to know if you see different results with different marketing in those two markets because, I'm in a ton of mastermind groups, ton of events, you hear people in different markets from all over the country and, direct mail works in this market, but PPC doesn't and vice versa in a different market. Um, have you seen a difference in those two markets to be able to tell like, hey, direct mail works better in the Florida market versus the Ohio market? Have you noticed a difference, or you're kind of seeing the similar results in both markets?
I don't think it's a difference in my case, and from what I see, it's the difference of if this works in this market or this works in that market. But from my experience, the Ohio market, Midwest market is always the best. Always said to be the best market to wholesale and buy rentals and stuff like that. So the response rate is much higher in any marketing channel from what I've seen, for the most part, in the Ohio market. The response rate in the South Florida, very competitive Broward, Miami-Dade, Palm Beach County market, no matter what you do, no matter if you do PPC, direct mail, if you do TV, if you do radio, if you do whatever it may be, is still hyper, hyper, hyper competitive. And the I guess the attitude of people, or the personalities of people are different.
Mm.
So I think that's the main difference. So, trying to make a short answer, yes, it's different, but it's not because of the marketing piece or the marketing strategy. It's just that the market is easier because of the hyper competitiveness.
Mm. I'm assuming you're seeing bigger deal sizes in Florida compared to Ohio, just less frequency. So that definitely makes sense. What's a common mistake that you often see investors make that you think could be really easily avoided?
The common mistakes, as far as like a wholesaler or a fix and flipper, or a buy and hold, or all three.
All three. I mean, any in particular if you have any, but
Well, I would say, as a wholesaler, like I said, I started number of almost 10 years ago now, almost a decade, when I started wholesaling, and obviously you get taught different things, but as a wholesaler, just having the right words to be honest with the seller about you being a wholesaler. Okay.
mm,
You're not gonna just come out and say, "Hey, I'm a wholesaler." They're gonna be like, "What is that? I don't want to deal with you." Because people shy away from the unknown, and they don't know,
right.
and a lot of people don't. They want to shy away from it. It's just natural. But under wording it properly to the seller, you know, what you are, and just being honest with the right wording. That's the whole thing. Being honest and transparent with the right wording that doesn't scare the seller off, or doesn't, scare whatever it is. So that's basically it on the wholesaling side. That's what I see a lot. And when I speak to sellers and they're like, oh yeah, this person said that they were going to buy my house, but they, sent a million people to the house and they weren't going to buy it. Or some of them say, hey, they did buy it, but at the closing, it wasn't them. And I saw that they made 10, 20, 30, $50,000, and, this and that and the other. And I tell them, yeah, it's done. I tell them I do that. I do that as well. But I am upfront and honest and open with, every seller of what I'm doing. So just being, just being able to word that honesty properly, because you can't just come out and say it because they don't understand. For a fix and flipper, getting into deals just to get into a deal. It's better to get into no deal than to a bad deal.
Mm.
Same with buy and hold. That's kind of the basic thing in those three kind of buckets that I put an investor in.
Yeah, especially fix and flippers that have crews on their team and they're like, oh, I just want to keep them busy. I'm gonna take a deal that I might net 4 grand just so I'm like, that doesn't make sense business wise, but is what it is.
Yeah, I've had some buyers like that. When I wholesale them a property, I was like, yeah, I'll take it, man. I just got to, I built a good relationship with them. I just need to get my crews working. I was like, if that's what you want, that works for me, because
Yeah.
I'm able to make money. But man, you sure? Like, I actually tell them, you sure? It's like, yeah, I need to get them working. It's just they, I see it both sides of the coin. One is like, you're kind of messing up the market a little bit doing that. But then at the same time, if they don't have work for their crews, then their crews are going to go somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. That's fair too.
So it's two sides of the coin. And if they're good crews, when they do find two or three, four properties, which happens at times, one time you can go 2-3 months without finding one good property, and then all of a sudden, within 2 weeks, you got four fall in your lap, three, and you're like, oh man, I need my crews. And if they're out there doing something else, you ain't gonna get them back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What do you think? There's a lot of people in this industry that are, you know, um, maybe, doing it on the weekend or, maybe doing a deal or two a year versus, there's guys that are doing, a ton of volume. And then there's guys that are doing a good amount of volume with really high spreads. What would you say separates the top operators from everyone else in your experience?
Consistency.
Mm.
That's it. Consistency. In my opinion, is consistency. When you have momentum, consistency, I think it's one of the top. I don't want to label, 1, 2, 3, or 4, but consistency is definitely up there. Because when you have the train moving, you have the momentum, you want to continue it, because when you let it die, it dies, and then it's
Mm.
like pushing a train from zero, then pushing a train that was already rolling. It's two night and day. So consistency is one thing. Number two is putting yourself around people that are at the high level that you want to be, because you can hear a thousand different gurus and trainings and courses and this and that and the other, which help a lot, absolutely. But until you get into the nitty gritty of it and talk to people that are in the nitty gritty of it in certain situations, you will not know everything you need to know. So consistency and getting around the right people that are at the level that you want to be, or above. I think those are the biggest key point that separate, the weekend warrior from the one or two deal to the, 6-7 figure investor a year.
I love it. I love it. When it comes to the word success, everyone's got their own definition for it, their own measure of, way of measuring it and their own way of striving for it. How do you define the word success? How do you measure it? And then how do you, strive for it every day?
I I measure success. Great question, by the way. And I measure success. the best way to word this? Um, Basically, when you there's different avenues of success. There's, family, there's this and that, but obviously we're talking here about business. When you are able to have a business that pays for your lifestyle, right? With you having to work minimal hours into the business and pays for everything you need, most or anything you want, um, and you don't have to give too much time to it. That's where success is. That's where I'm striving for and shooting for, and my goal in the next 5 to 10 years. So I can literally sit down, have my business running on its own, and then I want to say I want to go here, I want to go there. My wife and I love to travel. I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that. That money, financial, is no longer a sticking point or something to think about or consider. Obviously, other than health, other than relationships, other than family, which that's without being said.
Yeah, 100%. If you were going to start from scratch today, the whole business goes away. You get to keep all the knowledge you've learned over the years, but the entire business, the portfolio, everything goes away.
Mhm.
What would you focus on first? What would be the first thing you focus on to rebuild what you have now?
Wholesaling.
Mm,
Wholesaling real estate, finding a good deal. Everything starts with a good deal. Everything. Okay.
mm,
You find the good deal. Okay. Now I still have my knowledge, so that's a good part. You mentioned that. You find a good deal, everything else. There's a lot of avenues to go after that. You can keep it. You can find money to flip it. You can find money to keep it. You can wholesale it. You can partner up with others. You can Everything is based on finding a good deal, whatever deal it is. If it's commercial, if it's residential, if it's syndications, whatever it may be, is all starts with finding a good deal. And wholesaling is what I've heard many times with many different gurus, but it is the art of finding a good deal.
mm.
Okay,
Marketing
so
and sales. That's all it is.
exactly. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
marketing and sales. I guess the beginning part of wholesaling it's just and if you know that, everything else is going to come into place, because if you find a good deal, you're going to find somebody to either buy it or fund it or something. You just have to go out there and network is a big thing. So definitely that. And obviously with the wholesaling, if I lost everything, I had nothing, that's how I can build up capital to then go into continue buying rentals. I love buying rentals. I know a lot of people have this sometimes bad taste about rentals, but if you do it properly and you're structured and you have your reserves and stuff is good. And remember, the wealth building of rentals is it's amazing. A lot, like it's always said, a lot of millionaires, billionaires make their money and then put it into real estate. That's how they hold their money, or they have their money, because it's just like exponential growth. And I've seen it in just the last decade, that I've owned rentals, where I refinance a property that I bought, and then it refinanced 123% more than what I bought it for, and it's only in a matter of 9, 10 years. So where can you get that? It's
Yeah.
it's almost impossible. So long story short, I would just start looking for deals.
That's awesome. Where can people, learn more about you or connect with you if someone's interested, or maybe if someone's in one of those two markets listening to this, where can people reach out to you and where can people go?
Very easy. This Cop Flips, THIS Cop Flips. I am all over every social, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm even on LinkedIn and on X. So you can reach out to me there. I'm usually on top of all of the messages for now. I'm growing those channels. I'm posting content consistently every single day. So yeah, you just reach out to me there, and you can find me there and reach out. And listen, I'm willing to help and talk to anybody, whether in my market or not. That's fine. Obviously, in my market, we could definitely link up and do deals or help you with your deals or whatever it is you may need. But I'm definitely open to speaking and talking or helping anyone, because when I started, and I used to reach out to those big time investors or gurus or whatever, it was crickets. And it kind of it was tough. Now I get it why, because they're so into their business, so into everything. It's kind of tough, and I'm sure they're getting messages and requests left and right. So I get that to a point, but I really wish some would actually respond, at least if it was a month later, but something. But yeah, you can reach out to me there. This cop flips.
Awesome. Awesome. Any final advice for investors that are looking to grow, scale, or maybe even simplify their business?
I love to say this: whatever you think is gonna take to hit your goal or do what you want to do in real estate investing, calculate that times 10. Okay, so don't have the right mind. Everything else, that all the technical stuff it'll come, but have the right mindset. You're not gonna make 100 calls and you're gonna get a $20,000, $30,000 deal. You're not gonna make 50 calls and it could take 200, 300, 1,000. It could take 50 offers, 100 offers. You got to go into it with that mindset. It's going to take more than what you think. And it's not just a mindset, there's a reality. It's going to take more than what you think to do. But at the end, it's worth it. After you do it and you do it again and you do it again and you do it again, it is worth it, because the only way you fail is if you stop. That's the
Mm.
only way, because you're definitely eventually either going to get better, and things are going to be, instead of 100 offers, 50, and then 25, and then 10. And then it's just going to start working.
I love it. I love it. Mario, thank you so much for taking the time. Everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.